The goal of this video is to show you how to work through the practice questions in the R Markdown files of the courses. The first thing you have to do is download the project folder, and that will be linked for you either in the video description or on our web platform. Once you've downloaded that project folder, it'll be a zip file. So if you are on Mac, your zip file should look like this, and you can just double click that to open up the zip folder. If you're on Windows, your zip folder will probably look like this. And to open that, you should typically right click on that and then click on Extract All. And that will open up the folder. Make sure you don't just double click. And once you do that, you will see the folder with the RMD that you need to work through. So now you have to open the RProj file, the RStudio project file that should be in that folder. And that will open your RStudio project in of course, the RStudio window. So once that's open, now we can go to the Files tab here and then open up this RMD, which is the RMD from which Laura is actually teaching. So I can open that, and I'm going to change it to visual mode just so I can see it in a little less scary form. Okay, and you can ignore most of this YAML stuff at the top. That's just to help the document knit into a nice way. This chunk here, you have to always remember to run it because it actually sources some of the things that will help to grade your practice questions. So remember to always run that one. Of course, you can also run it by clicking on one of these buttons here, because this button will run all the code above. So let's run that. Okay. And now let's go to this first practice question. What you have to do is simply assign the value of your output, assign your output to this object called QWeightHeight, following the instructions in the question. So the question says, select the weight and height variables in the Yaoundé data frame. And for this first question, we've actually provided the answer for you. So this is the code you need to run, and you need to assign that to this object here. So let's run that, okay? And once that's done, you can run the equivalent check and hint function. And the check function will give you this grid that shows you whether or not you got it correct. And the hint function will give you, of course, a hint. Now for each of these questions, there's also a solution function, which you can run, and that'll give you the solution. But we only show you this solution function here for the first question. For these other questions, you actually have to type it out yourself, okay? And this is to discourage you from looking at the solution before answering the question. So from there, then you know how to do the others. So for example, for QCalls 1622, this is the one where you're asked to select the 16th and 22nd columns. You will have to do a similar thing to what you see up there. In this case, probably Yaoundé, and then you want to select the columns that you want. Let's imagine that I made a mistake here, something like 16 and 122. I've run those, it says wrong, please try again. In fact, location 122 does not exist, so that's not even a possible solution. We can run that again, and it's still wrong. We can check the hint, and then we can maybe check the solution. And from the solution, we can see what we actually need to do. So hopefully that is clear on how you can use these practice questions. Again, these may look a little bit different from what you see in the video, depending on when the video was recorded. But hopefully this is clear enough for you to follow and try to practice as much as possible. That is the best way to learn. I wish you the best of luck and see you soon. Bye-bye.